Hey.
Hey, what's up, dude?
So remember how you said you wanted a new two-door Wrangler?
Mm-hmm.
And you wanted one in yellow.
Mm-hmm.
And you wanted a Rubicon.
Yes.
Okay, so I thought of the perfect thing.
You got me a Rubicon?
I got you the exact same Rubicon you want. It's like
Is it outside?
Exacting specifications.
Is it outside?
It's right here. It's exactly like it. It's a modern car, man.
But it's Legos and it's made out of plastic.
Exactly. Most modern cars are made out of plastic. A lot of it too.
But don't like the car companies say that they don't want to do plastic anymore?
Well, the car companies say that they want to be more environmentally friendly, but I don't know if they're going about it the right way.
Well, thanks, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait to build this.
Yeah, but think about it. You're using the same plastic that they do. Not really, but...
So I'm basically making a Jeep.
Exactly.
Myself.
Basically.
Wow. Thanks, bud. I appreciate it.
You're welcome, bud.
Now let's go build it.
Okay.
Hey, did you know?
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Justin and Joseph Show.
We forgot to pay the bills. Not again. Hey, what's up, guys? Triple C here. I'm Joseph.
And I'm Justin.
And welcome back to
Justin and Joseph Show.
Woohoo! Hope you guys did like that skit. We haven't done that in a while.
It's been a little while, yeah.
Yeah, Justin was like, dude, we gotta do something. You know, we gotta bring it back. And I said, yeah, sounds good to me, bro. And that's what we did. So hope you guys did like it. So today's topic is, well, you guessed it, plastic in cars. Now, what were you getting at in that video, Justin? Why were you making a reference to a Lego set made out of plastic parts to a real car?
Well, because cars are made out of a lot of plastic parts. Maybe they're not made of entirely plastic like that Lego set, but it's a pretty good-ish analogy explaining to you, you know, how much plastic cars
Really are made of.
So, what's the big message, basically? The big message is that we're all trying to be environmentally friendly in whatever ways that we can. As you know, me and Joe, you know, we support the whole movement of, you know, being better for the environment. I think we all should be. But as you know, we're not really a huge fan of electric vehicles. We do feel like there's alternative to electric.
Yes.
But that's for a different video. Well, we explain electric every video our hatred for it.
Oh, God. Way too much. It's not a hatred, it's just a very, like, vague disagreement.
It's frustrating. For us
that's
to
really
understand.
it. It's frustrating.
All right, so let's just move past it.
Goddamn electric.
So okay, so even electric cars, right? They're good for the environment. You know, they use a lot of plastic in them. I mean, the batteries are encased in plastic.
Mm-hmm.
So you know, I get plastic is a very cheap material to manufacture. But
Very easily moldable, and so on and so forth.
Exactly. And it's not just limited to electric cars. Me and Joe's cars...
Filled with plastic.
Completely filled with plastic. It may not look like plastic, but it is plastic. Mm-hmm. In fact, they're finding ways of making plastic look like other materials. Carbon fiber, wood, metal. I mean, like, these are things that are actually plastic, but they're made to look like things that are not plastic.
Mm-hmm.
Why are we dumping so much time and energy into making plastic look like things that aren't plastic? We should be instead dumping our research and development into finding an alternative for plastic. Why don't we find a material that's cheap enough to create, basically, that's not plastic? I mean, think about it. We all did the impossible. we didn't like how our fossil fuel cars were damaging the ozone layer. So why don't we create a car that will break that rift? Hence, let's adopt electric cars. So that way it's not every person in the entire world is polluting. It's like, 1 out of 5 or whatever, or whatever it is. But then you have the plastic in it. So it really, at the end of the day, I kind of lost my train of thought there. But plastic is still used on these cars today, and I really think we should be finding alternate ways to replace plastic. I think we should, just like how we're trying to have a phase out of fossil fuels, why don't we have a phase out of plastic? Plastic's been around a long time, and it's done nothing but pollute our world. As you see, the factories that pollute, or the factories that make this are, polluting. I mean, melting plastic and molding it is a very toxic process. Of course, they've made it safe. I have no doubt. I haven't done my research on the plastic industry, I will be honest, but based off of what I know, the plastic industry is a polluting industry, just like,
And I will explain a little bit why. As I'm here on my phone right now. I wanted to look it up because I wanted to give some examples. So, based off of, I'm going to give credit to where credit is needed. Based off of thisisplastics.com. Plastics are made from raw materials like natural gas, oil, or plants, which are refined into ethane and propane. Ethane and propane are then treated with heat in a process called cracking, which turns them into ethylene and propylene. These materials are combined together to create different polymers. If we go into another source, www.bpf.co.uk, the main ingredient in most plastic materials is a derivative from crude oil and natural gas. There are different types of plastics. Plastics are products. Plastic products are often a polymer resin, which is then mixed with a blend of additives. So, basically, what that really, those two sentences really means is what they're made of and why they're harmful. Propane and ethane are not, they're natural gases, of course, but these do damage the ozone layer. These are damaging material, basically damaging natural gases that cause a lot of problems. It's kind of it's not an excruciating amount of like pain, like when we have gas cars that are polluting the carbon monoxide and stuff. It's not as strong as that, but it does definitely continue to break things down. So that is not, it's not helpful. It's not helpful for the environment. A lot of what plastics are made of, brand new plastics, rather going off of brand new plastics. If we were to talk about recycled plastics, like taking a water bottle and melting it down into another polymer and making it into something else, that's a different story. That's helping the environment. But making new plastics, as an example, these new Lego pieces. Lego in itself definitely wants to go down the route of more not really user friendly, but more of like eco-friendly plastics, PLA and stuff like that, to really continue on their Lego business. Because look at this. This is about 665 pieces, and each of them is made out of a plastic. Now, of course, if you get your hands on one of these, you're one of hundreds of thousands of these made. So let's just say we had an example of, let's say this gives this set, just as an example, this set, to make every piece in this set is going to cost us maybe, let's say, 2 to 5 grams of harmful chemicals that get released into the atmosphere. Times that by however many sets this is made, and it adds up quick. So that's what we're really getting at here, is as much as it does have a small factor in it, it definitely does harm in general. So going down a different route of making brand new ones is what we would like to see. Recycling them. Now let's just say, going back to this example, let's just say somebody was like, oh, I don't want my Legos anymore. And they have a bunch of yellow pieces and a bunch of black pieces. Maybe Lego goes and melts them down and puts it back through an extruder and reuses the parts. I can't tell you. I'm not inside the Lego factory, but again, that's just another way of doing it. That's using what we used to make. With cars, it's a little. Actually, it's more like a lot of a different story. You want the best of the best. You don't really want to take used parts and refurbish them and put them in to make them brand new. You might as well make them brand new at that point. It just saves you money and it saves you time. That's the sad part. It's money, you know. So it's tough to find, really, in all honesty, it's tough to find an alternative. And with all the great minds that we have in this new generation, and just in general that we have in this world right now, I would love to see an alternative. I mean, there's got to be something. I mean, I believe it. Justin believes it. You know, it's just we have to find something. You know, because as I said, it adds up. It's not that just because I say that this Lego set gives me 2 to 5 grams of deadly gases per set, doesn't really show much, because this one set is one of many. With cars, it's the same thing. Mass producing vehicles has a mass production of plastic parts, and the mass production of plastic parts again builds up, and so on and so forth. Blah 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 blah. Air purifiers can only do so much, really, you know. So I guess that's kind of really a great topic to really talk about, is just what's an alternative to plastic, because plastic is, in the end, truthfully and sadly, harmful in a lot of ways. Making it is just a pain in the butt.
There's ways to recycle it, of course, we know.
As we've talked about, yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm. But if there's a way to get rid of it entirely and start, finding a way, because eventually, if we keep recycling enough of it, we're still going to have to make more at some point.
Yeah, because just because we melt it down, because when we melt something down, we still lose a certain portion of that original piece. You're not going to take an iron block and a 5-gram iron block and melt it down and get 5 grams out of it. You're going to lose a small percentage along the way. So it's going to dwindle down. Let's just say we did go completely and reuse everything. It's going to continuously go down and down and down until we have nothing left, and we're going to have to go back to our old ways.
Exactly. So since we're already semi-recycling, not everyone's recycling, but mostly, it's like half and half, or starting to become half and half. You're hearing a lot of new cars with recycled plastics, recycled materials, which is good. This might be the perfect time to start preparing ourselves to start doing research and development on alternatives to plastic. And here at Triple C, we support alternatives to plastic. To the best that we can, we'd like to eliminate plastic within our lineup if we can, and find an alternative.
It's going to be really tough. And truth be told, really, to go back to what Justin said about recycling, where we live, only our state and our county, they really don't accept all. I don't know about you guys, wherever you guys watch this from. They don't accept all the plastic. You only get a certain number. Each thing is stamped with a certain number. Where we live, I think it's like they only accept 1s and 2s. So 3, 4, and 5, and so on and so forth. We don't accept them because we can't use them. We can't reuse them, and that's where things get bad. Now it's just plastic. Plastic's useless. You can't reuse it. You can't do anything with it. So it just sits there and causes problems. So
I will say, and we'll end it off, but to close it out, a lot of people use plastic in manufacturing things because it's cheaper. It's the cheapest option, right? But to be fair, it's only the cheapest option because A, it's been mass produced for so long, and B, because of the materials it's made out of makes it cheap. But I'm going to go with A and say that it's been mass produced for a very long time, which it has.
Very much.
So here's my thing. Here's my verdict for this episode. We start because now we're at a pretty good point right now, where not everyone is reliant on new plastic. A lot of it is recycled. A lot of people are keeping their cars, for instance, so this isn't really too big of a problem right now, but it could be at some point. So here's my idea. We start doing our research and development now, and then by the time it gets to the point where now everyone's new cars have recycled materials in them, when plastic starts to dwindle down, we already have a replacement for it. And yes, we might not make money on the return for it at first, but as it keeps being more and more mass produced, because of course there's millions of cars out on the roads, different makes and models and everything like that, so you'll probably meet that profit threshold in no time. You're talking about over 1 million cars.
Especially it's because of the fact of just, as Justin said, in the beginning when plastic was just beginning to be made, a lot of cars really didn't have a lot of plastic. A lot of it was metal because it was really, it was mass produced easily. And with plastic, everyone's like, what, plastic? After years and years of development, it finally came to be a very common material. So, commonly used material. So, that's really just adding on to what Justin said, was just, the return of investment is probably not going to be there right away, but it will come. And a lot of people right now just don't want to take that jump, which is which is fine, because some people just care about themselves, and some people just be like, hey, more money in my pocket, or they just think it's best for everyone. They think like, all right, it's best for them right now, it's safe, so on and so forth. They don't want to put the money into it right now. But yeah, some people just don't really want to take that jump, and that's not always the best thing. So we, as Justin said, we at Triple C, we support any alternative to the plastic. We would love to see what that comes up. We don't know it. We're just putting the idea out right now. Maybe we will come up with an idea. Oh, maybe I'll turn off this video will end, and I'll look at something at the wall and I'll be like, oh my God, that's it. We're gonna use spiders to make plastic. Woohoo, we did it, and then it becomes mass produced. But that's not. I can't tell you if that happens. But it's gonna help. This is just a great way of just bringing up, just like the main thing of what Justin and Joseph show is about, is just bringing up the important stuff and the big news that we have in the car world and in the world itself. So and just giving us our take. So.
Yep, and although sometimes, this I guess could be kind of considered Triple C's news show. This is like our news show.
Yeah.
This is as as newsy as we get, I guess, if you want to say. But we tend to, instead of going from topics that are more well known, we tend to like going for more like under the radar things that maybe exist, but aren't really hot right now. Or sometimes occasionally we'll deep dive into our own personal things, like for instance plastics. That's something that for instance I brought up to Joe, and Joe and me both agree that there needs to be some change. So yeah, but I think that was a well-rounded episode. Thank you guys for joining us on this. It was really fun.
It was a lot of fun. I had a lot more contribution to it. It was great. But
we switched up the format a little. I was trying to do the facts, and I had Joe kind of comment on them. So works out well.
Yeah, so anyway, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, smash the like button and the subscribe button, hit the bell notification, and to see when we post. Check out all of our social medias in the beginning of this video. And yeah, in this comment section down below, I want you guys to tell us what you think is a good alternative to plastic. And I mean, just as an idea, just throw it out there. Be like, just tell us, oh, maybe cactus. I don't know. It may not be a bad idea. But on top of that, I want you to, and if you don't feel like there's any alternative to a plastic, just say, I don't think there's an alternative to plastic. I want to hear your opinion. Tell us about plastics. Tell us what you think about plastics. And we would love to see it in the comment section down below. But with that, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, as I said, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and me and Justin will triple see you later. Peace, guys.